Hello. Um, so I have been inspired to start a YouTube journal for a couple of weeks now. And I've been procrastinating about it because I don't know where to start, if I'm honest. There's so much I could talk about that I almost feel like I have nothing to talk about, if that makes sense. So for some reason, I don't really know why, I just took a nudge tonight to just get the phone out and hit record and see what happens. And even now, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I think maybe I'll start with this concept of being nudged and taking action. So obviously, I work with people. Well, not obviously, because unless you're seeing this on LinkedIn and you know who I am, you won't know who I am. So I am known as the Mindset Barista, and I specifically help people who are in a professional capacity, who are getting rather fed up of living in this corporate sludge that's making them less of who they are, and in a world that doesn't want the full version of them. And I'm helping them to step out of that and to take a leap of faith to find a free range lifestyle, doing what comes naturally to them, that brings them joy, and that probably the world needs in abundance right now, whatever that purpose may be. So I help people to find that purpose and monetize it and create an amazing life for themselves. So that's what I do. And what that involves often is a lot of courage for, on my client's part, a lot of bravery, and a real leap of faith. And partly that leap of faith is trusting me to help them through that journey, to guide them through that journey. And I had to take that leap of faith too with the coach that I had that got me to this place. And one of the things that really got me there was the fact that I just had an instinct, an intuition, and that it was the right decision to make. I forked out a lot of money at the time. It was a huge amount of money, and I didn't really know whether I could afford it. But I did it anyway, and it was the best thing that I ever did, or certainly one of the best things I've done in recent years. I've then since had a nudge to spend a whole other massive chunk of money on my own personal development. And I've done that by instinct and by intuition, not really knowing how that's going to go and where that money's coming from sometimes. But I think probably the key message for me here is that when you get that nudge, when you get that intuition, when you get that instinct, when you get that sudden spark of, I'm going to do this, or I've had an idea, or I'm going to go make that phone call or send that email, my strongest advice that I could give you on that is absolutely go for it. If something in you has given you that spark to take action, it wants to come to life. And what we tend to then do in the next few seconds is allow our fear to kick in, and that then makes us procrastinate, which brings me back to my original point, perhaps, that I've been procrastinating making these videos, partly because I had too much I wanted to talk about and I didn't know where to start. Maybe there's also fear in that as well. Maybe I've been fearful of opening my heart a little bit, which I'm kind of used to doing on social media. But by journaling stuff that's happening to me on this level, I am allowing myself perhaps to be more vulnerable than I have done before. And in a world where there are lots of coaches and other entrepreneurs who are super polished and slick, and their marketing machine is incredible, I'm kind of bucking the trend a little bit, because I want to be an authentic, real person and to show you that I'm that person. And frankly, if I was choosing a coach, and I have chosen, coaches, particularly the main coach that I've worked with, I have chosen her based on the fact that she's a real person. And she's not super intimidating. She's incredibly impressive, don't get me wrong, but she's not super intimidating. And I think slick and intimidating and polished is great for some people, but it doesn't work for me. And I must admit, I feel like this is now going to be the start of something that I'm going to need to put out there on a regular basis. And I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know what's going to happen with it. But what I am hoping for is that for at least one person, it will add some value and give some inspiration and maybe give some impetus and some confidence to go with the flow, to go with that nudge, to go with that instinct, and to not allow the fear to stop us doing these things, because you only have one opportunity at this version of life that you've got now. I don't know what your belief system is on that, but right now you have one version. We are living in a world right now in 2020 of fear. And the thing that will ensure we all fail on an individual basis and on a global basis is fear. Nature does not favour a victim. And I can absolutely guarantee you that if you subscribe to the fear that is becoming an accepted way to live right now, you will also not achieve the things that you really want to achieve, and potentially look back and realise that those nudges, those instinct sparks, those intuitions were something in you trying to tell you that there's another way to live and there are other choices that need to be made here. So that escalated quickly. Genuinely pressed record, having no clue what I was going to say. But that's happened. So I'm going to just put it out there and just hope that it touches somebody that, like I say, that it adds value. Feel free to tell me your thoughts and be vulnerable with me too. And I shall speak to you again soon. It's been a ride. Good night.